Don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more tokusatsu content, and I thank you for your continued support. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Rider Spike back again once again today, people. Today we're here for Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 31, and this episode was wild. Like, we got a gigantic reveal in this episode. Also, everybody's about to be on the chopping block. Code is coming after everybody. Also, we got to see Baku's family's grave, or his adopted family's grave. We gotta start saying that now, I guess. And yeah, he actually got to meet Zero in person, like in the real world. He got to meet Zero. And Zero was also going to Baku's adopted parents' grave. So he basically tells him that, hey, that everybody's coming for you. They're coming for you. They're coming for your friends. And you know, you leak like classified all that information in your premonition. So it's time to get out, bro. So they trying to off Baku again. They're trying to off my boy again, man. And they just keep hammering in the nail of they just keep messing with my boy. But at the same time, it's like how Fuji said, like, them coming after everybody, that's definitely what a secret organization would do. But also, Nem is going through her crisis thanks to Sieg. No Kamen Rider Dawn for this episode. We got Sieg though. We got Sieg. I think this is the second episode we haven't seen him henshin. I think because last week he didn't transform. Yeah, I think like last week we didn't see him transform, and this is our second time not seeing him transform. He's just being the Joker, you know. But yeah, he ends up capturing them and ends up trying to use her and trying to basically put her in this crisis of, you're creating all the nightmares. Like, all the nightmares are coming from you. Like, you're birthing them. And she ends up being saved by Nox. And Nox is just, man, like, he's just dead set on this destroying code thing. And Nox has his own like little agenda, his own plans, and he's really not trying to be under anyone. He's kind of sort of doing his own thing. He's also just using other people's resources technically, because, you know, the lady, he's sort of kind of taking orders from her, and he makes it very apparent that he does not give a damn about Nem. I just want to use her. Like, he calls her a toy in this episode, which is messed up. She's still a real person. She's still got a real regular body and all that jazz. I just hate that line, toy. But Nem basically is going through her own crisis of, she doesn't want to be the person that's creating the nightmares. Like, she doesn't want that, and she hasn't really got into with the power that she has yet. We got to see a return of the baby nightmares, like the big, the nightmares kind of act like kids who can like multiply. They're still like in the lady's garden place. But yeah, she's going through this crisis. She ends up talking to Nem. The lady ends up talking to Nem, and Nem is like, what am I? The classic questions of like, what am I? Why do nightmares come after me? Why do nightmares appear? Like, why am I in the dreams? Like, why am I the way I am? And she even tells her like, hey, she said, hey, I'm not your daughter. Why did you let me live and stuff like that? And the lady's like, because you're my child. I made you. The lady's like, she's like, you're my child. I made you. And Nem is like, she's like, no, you didn't. The nightmares made me. Like, I don't know what I am. And also Baku is going through his own thing, because he's seeing like visions and premonitions and stuff. Well, not premonitions, but he's seeing like visions of the past, a past that he does not remember. And it's like, we got to see his adopted dad in like him, like not a picture of him, but actually him. And he meets up with Zero, looking at the I didn't know the bike had a name. It's called the Zero Rider. Like, that's a dope name, but I didn't know the bike had a name. But well, not like Zero as like the robot, but like I'm saying, like the bike itself, like, has a name. So we see like Kid Baku, he's looking at the bike and Zero's there and stuff like that, and Zero helps him on the bike and stuff, and Zero is acting kind of like really, he's acting kind of weird. Like he's real like hesitant on talking to Baku, and like he has this really stern, stone face, cold expression on his face when he looks at Baku, right? And he gives Baku that same face like every time, and it just seems like he wants to, like, at one point he wants to put his hand on Baku's shoulder, but he just can't do it. And it's just like he's stopping himself from doing something, or he's stopping himself from like embracing Baku, because I'm gonna get there. But if you watch the episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But hey, if you made it this far into the video, you're a real one. I love that. I love that. Your attention span is great. Thank you for coming. And also make sure to hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And yeah, let's get back to the video. So with that being said, we see that Baku is seeing this, past, thing of him, and he doesn't remember any of it. But the nightmare for this episode is the gray and silver, is basically the silver Zeztz, right? And this design is dope. Like it's very simple. It's just a gray and silver suit, and then the driver on it is just like a flat kind of like plate to a degree. And this nightmare looks like Zeztz, and it also has like the powers of like all his different forms to a degree. We see it like using like different powers and stuff like that, but it's using one capsule, and it's using the darkness capsule, and that's actually pretty dope. We see that this thing is a really good fighter. Also, the fight between them two is really cool. It's really cool. Like the fight we seen between Zeztz and Silver Zeztz is actually really dope, especially that part where Zeztz goes like punch him, but then it shows like a mirror that's like mirroring their fight, and then he turns around, and then Silver Zeztz comes out of the mirror, and then it phases to another scene. That was really freaking cool. That was like some Kamen Rider Gav, almost Kamen Rider Gav levels of fighting and stuff like that, and creativity. But yeah, so while he's fighting this nightmare, like Zero's watching this, and they're like in a warehouse, but it's like the sun is really shining through these windows. but yeah, he's asking him like, why are you fighting me? He's like, why does this, he says, why does why, and turns out he's in Zito's dream. So he's like, why does your nightmare look like Zeztz? Why were you showing me these memories I don't remember? Why does this want to keep attacking? Why is it attacking me specifically? And then Zero's like, you were just like a pawn. Like one of my dream was to complete Zeztz one day, but now I have to destroy you. Now a useless pawn has to be sacrificed. And I don't understand. I kind of don't get it. And you guys let me know down in the comment section below, like, why does he want to destroy Zeztz now that he's like completed? Is it because he completed Zeztz, but then Zeztz betrayed him, so now he has to kill him? I think that's what I'm gathering from it. That's what I'm really gathering from it. Zeztz has betrayed them all, so he's a gigantic threat now, so I have to kill him now. That's what I'm picking up right now. If I'm wrong, or if I'm in the right ballpark, like, let me know what that means. But also, number 3 has basically, he's gone off on his own thing, like his own mission, like, stuff like that. So most likely he's coming after Zeztz as well. The rest of the team, they're trying to stay awake, so they can't get like killed or assassinated, because they're basically going to about to be assassinated. So the rest of the team, they're trying to stay awake. Baku is basically giving them a bunch of energy drinks and things like that. But yeah, also we see that Fuji ends up figuring out that someone else's dream is the reason why Baku would get attacked and like had super bad luck. It was that person's dream that was the reason why Baku would get hurt all the time in real life. And you find out that that was Zero's dream. And I kind of didn't get that either, but it did make sense to me later. But at the same time, why does Zero want to kill Zeztz? Is it because, you know, how I said before, where he's been completed now, but he betrayed them, so now I had to kill him. But that wouldn't make sense from before, from him having all that bad luck and stuff like that, even before he was Zeztz. So yeah, so while he's fighting this, you know, the nightmare and things like that, he ends up like sort of like defeating it. But he's like, this thing was fighting. Like, this thing was not going down, dude. Like, this Silver Zeztz was hanging with hors d'oeuvre. And I'm like, we just got this form last week and it's already getting hanged upon. Like, somebody's already hanging with him. And I did, like, we got to see Catastrophe, you know. Catastrophe's still here. He's still kicking. He's still big and strong, buff, you know. But yeah, so now we see Zero. We see Zeztz run towards Zero, and he tells him and we're back in the original office. Back when, you know, they're back in the original office, and he's talking to him and stuff, and he said, "Hey, you used me to make your dream and your own son," and it like reveals that Zeztz or Baku is Zero's son, which a lot of people already kind of deduced from the start. Like, a lot of people had already came up with that. So it's just like, yeah, I kind of saw something like this coming. That's why every time he looks at him, he just can't, like, it seems like he wants to hug him and embrace him, or he can't like touch him because he looks like he's holding himself back all the time. So yeah, that makes sense. But I wonder, how did Baku figure that out? How did Baku? But I get, you know, Baku's a smart guy. He's gotten smarter over time. He's not like a bumbling idiot anymore. But man. And that's where episode ends. So and we see again, like, they got the perfect actor for Zero, because this man's face, he just looks like a stern, cold father. That's just he got a suit on too. He just, man. But yeah, dog, I do like the twist, but it's sort of a twist that we kind of already saw kind of coming. But yeah, I mean, this was a really good episode, for real. Like, this episode had a lot going on, and from everything that we've learned now, what happens next? How does Baku tell everybody this? He's like, "Oh yeah, Zero's my dad." What? But yeah, man, this was a great episode. I thoroughly did like it. You guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, as I always say, stay henshined.
Yeah, the shining golden sign.